hex off the thing, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to hit continue, and then it's going to say, I'm going to say review swap. It says fetching quote. Now it says there's a price difference of 8%. Okay, I'm going to take an 8% ass kicking for doing this. I understand. I'm hitting the orange button. It says I understand. Now, gas fee, $5.78. I'm going to hit swap, and this is what happens. It says confirm with your hardware wallet. And then after it says confirm with your hardware wallet, there's like 3 dots, and those dots just keep coming and coming and coming until MetaMask crashes. This is like the 25th time it's had. Yep, and here it goes. Page unresponsive. You can wait for it or exit the page, and then I get a little wait button or exit. Every time I try to do a swap, ever since I got this Trezor, I thought I finally had it working. Now it's saying that, you know, every time I try to use it, it crashes MetaMask.
What? How long ago did you hook it up?
What do you mean? Did I make my Trezor hook it up to my wallet? Get my wallet on my Trezor? You mean, or hook it up physically to my computer today?
How
Just now.
long did you create the wallet on your Trezor?
It's been several months. Then I stopped fooling with it. I've updated it. It has all the proper updates because I've tried to come back every now and then when I thought about it and just, you know, tried to get it to work. And I finally got it to work, but it was and the only reason why I've gotten this far is because you have to not have it in your computer when you start messing with it. Apparently, I thought it was plugged in, and it wasn't. That's how I'm able to get to this far. So, but yeah, I've tried it. I mean, I've had it connected for a few months, 34 months.
I think it may.
Okay. Did you install the bridge?
Yep, got the bridge. In fact, when I go to this little app on my computer, this icon, this Trezor Suite icon, my wallet comes up, my balances come up, everything comes up. I wonder if I can, but I couldn't figure out how to. I'd swap it on here if I could, but I don't see how I can do that.
I'll be
I have to go through an exchange.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. When I first started using a hardware wallet with MetaMask, I kind of had a similar issue also where, you know, it was difficult getting a swap through. I mean, some of them were successful, some were not. Some hung for like days. And once I started using Matcha.xyz, that problem went away, and it's cheaper. So if I were you, just give it a shot. I think it will work for you.
You convinced me. MACHA .xyz.
No, MATCHA .xyz.
XYZ .xyz. Okay.
Yeah, MATCH. Yeah.
And then I'm going to connect wallet. Connect MetaMask. Okay. 1 second, guys. I appreciate your patience. Just understand this is months in the making, right? I'm just, I mean, it's game time. All right, Trezor, blah, blah, blah. Next. And then it says connect Trezor 1. See address, account balance, activity, suggestions, action, approve. To approve. Okay. Now, this is what the site can do if I connect the site. Yeah, okay. Connect. It's connecting, and it looks like it's connected now. And trade, I guess.
Yes, correct. Yes, just
it's home and trade at the top. Okay, so then choose token, and let me just do a quick one here to see if I can get it. Okay, my balance is there. Okay, and then I understand, and then I'm gonna trade it for. Actually on here. We can't find this token. Or maybe I can do the
go back to your MetaMask. Do you already have Maxi or no?
No, but it is on my MetaMask, like connected though, like it, but with a zero balance.
Okay, go up to the token details, click on that, and copy the token address.
I got the token address right already saved on my clipboard.
Hey, just go back to Matcha and put in where just
Okay, it
type
came
it,
in.
copy and
Maximus.
paste it.
It didn't say Maximus DAO. It just says Maximus, but I guess it's gonna give me the same thing. It's the same. It's the right address. For the token alert, blah blah blah. I understand. Okay. So now let's just try a little bit test run here. Well, I don't want to do a test run. I'm not doing a full amount. But whatever. Review order. Network free $3. That sounds pretty cheap to me. Let's review the order. Okay. Approve. Please confirm. Now this is where I get screwed up on the other one. Wait, give permission to access your hex. I'm giving match.xyz permission to access my hex. Confirm. And then another window opens up with my Trezor. It's like the Trezor window. Connect Trezor.io window pops up. And it says export public key of Ethereum account 1. So I'm going to export.
Yep, that's
And I'm
correct.
going to go through the little motions here. And that's loading. And then I'm going to put in my passphrase. Okay, I'm going to enter. Follow instructions on your device. All right. So I'm going to follow the instructions on my device. They're just trying to. Now, once I hit with the instructions on the device, this is where things get screwed up. So now there's the little Trezor logo on my device, right? It's just stuck right there. Like I hit, connect, password, hit in the password, confirmed all that. Now it's just the little logo. There's no words on the little screen. It's stuck. Now it says, please confirm on Matcha. It says there's like a little hex sign, and under the hex logo on the right, it says, please confirm the allowance approval. I mean, I thought I already just did that. Please confirm the allowance approval. I already did that. It's supposed to be swapping now, but it's just not doing anything.
What does it say on your device? Does it give you where there's a check mark for you to accept?
I've already done all that. Like the last confirm was for the passwords and codes and stuff. And now it's just the device logo, like the Trezor logo lit up on the device. It's just that on the screen. It's the same thing that was happening on Uniswap.
Could you go back to the web page of Match and see what's it say on that screen, on the page where you made the trade?
Yeah, on the it says we are still collecting data for this market. Where the chart is, there's a hex sign that says please confirm allowance approval. Like it doesn't say where or anything.
Right, that's right. They're looking at your device. You will do that on the device.
Right. But I've already done everything on the device, and like the device isn't telling me anything. There's only two buttons on this thing. The device just has the logo on it. I hit the back button just to see what would happen.
Scroll down to your MetaMask, you should have to scroll down to the bottom and confirm it there, and then on your device also.
I mean, I did.
Is there a little one on the MetaMask logo up at the top? Is there a little one?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
No little message. So
I do know what you're talking about, though. The little blue one. Yeah. Oh man, I can. No. And I'm now hitting the MetaMask like button, the little Chrome extension thing, and it's like nothing is happening. I want MetaMask to come back down. Okay, so nothing's happening when I hit MetaMask. I'm gonna hit the MetaMask button.
It takes 1 second for that to react to your click.
All right.
It's really slow. It's slow on mine too. I click it and then it comes down.
All right. Well, nothing happened. And this is just the weirdest thing. I mean, I'm the most tech savvy person. I'm not like a tech genius or nothing, but hell, I've been in crypto for several years, and I'm the most tech savvy person in my family. Like, if I'm having this much trouble with this treasure, if I die or something happens to me, there's no way. Like, I'm almost just gone. There's no way these people are gonna.
If you disconnect and reinstall it back into MetaMask, disconnect the treasure, then put it back in.
Yeah, I did that. Last time I called and got on here and asked for help with this thing. I might just have to just toss the treasures out and just get on MetaMask, and everything was working fine when I was just on MetaMask, and I just took my chances with the hack.
No.
Because the other option is just not being able to use it at all.
We'll get you worked out, even if we got to wake up Papa Boner. Papa, you there? We need you.
Have you activated blind signing?
Say it again now.
Have you activated blind signing?
Blind sign in? I have never heard of that, so no.
That's on a
blind signing. I know
blind
it's on Ledger. Yeah.
No.
Go into the settings of your device, and it should say enable blind sighting, and click on that.
Blind sign in or signing?
Okay. Signing, like signing your name.
Okay.
Blind signing for when it's to approve a transaction.
Okay. Let's see. And it's on the Trezor somewhere. I'm in the Trezor suite.
No, it should be on the little device, right?
On the device? There's only 2 buttons on the device. There's nothing.
I don't think blind signing is on Trezor, is it? Isn't it on the Ledger?
That sounds like a Ledger thing.
Yeah, I know it's on Ledger. Like I said, I use Ledger. I don't use Trezor, so I was trying to help you.
I appreciate it. I mean, I'm open for any kind of suggestions or guesses or anything at this point. Let's
a Treasury guy, though. Aren't you Profex?
Let's try this again. I'm just gonna try to just let me see.
Did it time out? You know, your Treasure time out?
It eventually crashes. You know, I mean, there's like nothing. Okay, so I'm on Matcha right now, but at least Uniswap and MetaMask would at least tell me, hey, you know, we're gonna just crash now on you. Matcha just didn't do anything. Let's try this again. I'm gonna try to just put back in Maxi, right? I got 0 Maxi token. This is how much I get for it. I'm just gonna review the order. Network fee $3. We need permission to use your hex. Why do you have this? There's a little I can click why do I have this? I have to read a book in order to figure out. Fuck that. I'm gonna go back. Okay, just say approve my hex. I'm gonna hit the button on matcha.xyz. Approve my hex. I'm gonna hit that button. I hit it, nothing happened. I'm gonna hit it again. Hitting it now. And nothing is happening. Okay. Let me hit the back button and just start over again. Okay, hex. I want to get some maxi. Let's see what happens here. I should have just sacrificed for maxi when the getting was good. Oh, that was right. That's the reason why I didn't sacrifice for maxi. I couldn't get the thing to work. Approve my hex. Like nothing. Now it won't even let me get to the second step. Trade. What is happening? Oh. Okay, let's try
you may have like 15 pending transactions going on.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go to. I just thought of something. I could go to Etherscan and put in my address and see if there's pending transactions. Can I? I mean, I hope you're right. Like that would explain. Like I hope that's the case. Like let's try that. Now how do I get to my unpin, remove from Chrome, manage extension? I need to find out my it's not saved here. Let me see.
Papa B is in here. He's a treasure expert. I wonder if he can hear.
Oh, wait a minute. Go back home.
Because I don't know if you're gonna have to reboot shit, re-put in your treasure, and then
Zero. Thanks.
start over.
See, I've already done that. I've already like deleted everything on the treasure and put it back on there. It's just not working for me.
What's going on? I just woke up.
Oh, okay. Are you buying or
3D.
swapping? Okay, here's Papa.
You having a problem with the treasure?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the deal?
I cannot swap or buy anything with it. It just hasn't worked since I've had it. I've tried to reload everything on it. I found out today though. I made some progress today because when I tried to just kind of tinker with it again, it was not plugged into my computer, and then because of that, I was able to get Treasure One on my MetaMask, and everything was going right. And then
Treasure One on your
I was able to
MetaMask
finally
is an
get to the next
impossibility.
step.
Listen, Treasure One on your MetaMask, it doesn't make any sense. Do you have Treasure? Do you have Treasure Suite loaded on your PC? Do you have
Yes. What I
MetaMask
meant
loaded on your
was
PC?
yes,
Okay.
as a dummy MetaMask,
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
like the
And you've
interface.
got right. So what you're trying to do is there are tokens on the wallet. You want to move them off?
I would like to make a swap.
Okay. First of all, can you see Trezor One? The account, is it reflected on your MetaMask at the top of the screen? Does it show?
When I get there, now I'm clicking MetaMask and like nothing's happening. But yes, earlier that
Nothing's happening.
Treasure One, and then
Can you
under
not
that,
log into MetaMask?
it's just not responding. I recently clicked on matcha.xyz, and after I've done that, when I go to the little button at the top for MetaMask, that's not responding. But and it might be because
What's your browser you're using?
Chrome.
Okay. Do you have Firefox?
No.
Okay. Load Firefox fresh. Load a fresh instance of MetaMask. Create a new 12-word wallet and come back.
Okay. I'll do that. That's worth it.
All right. Only download it from metamask.io.
Right.
All right. Do that and come back. We'll get you
I've
fixed
never
up.
used. All right. I've never used Firefox before, so
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It'll be easy. It's easy.
All right. All right. Okay. I'm gonna sign off and I'll be back. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Sure.
I knew if we said Trezor 3 times in quick succession, Papa would show up.
I fell down from hanging upside down in the closet, and here I am. You rang.
Yeah, he said he's been trying this for like 2 months or something, and he put it away. Hopefully, we can get it working for him. I would have had told him maybe
I
try.
think he's got lots of updates he's got to do as well that he probably hasn't done.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say try it on testnet. See if the thing even works. If you can sign with it.
It should be fine. Just got to update some stuff, and it should work fresh with a fresh browser. Start from scratch. Probably has an outdated MetaMask as well. The two weren't working together anymore because they're out of date. Lots of different things can happen if you don't touch it forever, right? You got to make sure everything's updated.
Yeah. Meanwhile, my ledger just keeps chugging along. No problems. I've done like
If you
60.
love it, keep doing it.
I've done like 60 transactions with testnet in and out. Just go did it really fast, just beating the heck out of it. I'm trying not to. I've got a couple of them.
Yeah, Papa, he was talking about getting rid of his treasures and going back just to only MetaMask. I was like, no, no, no. Wake up, Papa, wake up.
Oh, geez. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for saying no to him. That's ridiculous. I can't figure out how to use this condom. It's over my head, nice and tight over my head, over my ears, but it doesn't feel very good when I have sex. So I'm going to go back to not using condoms.
Yeah, well, I kind of figured you're the man. You have you can get them through this issue and get it working properly. I was just
We'll
guessing,
get it
throwing
done.
at it.
We'll get it done. As long as he's got his seed words, there's nothing that can go wrong. Well, looky there. 3.8 cents. Maybe I should go to bed more often. Wake up with a higher price of HEX. Nice.
Well, if we're still many moons away from Pulse launching, then it can stay 3 cents or lower for as long as possible.
I hear that.
The whole pole dancing just doesn't bring in the money like it used to, Papa?
Yeah, I know. They're throwing change nowadays instead of folding money.
I had a chick fold up a $10 bill, told me to get off the stage.
Boy, howdy. Jeff B., rise and be recognized. How are you? Jeff B., you are now unmuted.
Hello.
Hello to you.
Hey, how you doing? I got
You
a
good?
question for you because
Yep.
I got a quick question for you. Actually, I have two. I was on a little bit earlier there, but they were in a deep conversation. I don't know, 6 or 7 hours ago, and I couldn't get on. The first one is uh, perhaps when we're both off, or I don't know whether you want to give the address on this or not, but I want to find out the information I need in order to so I can give it to our developer so that we can build something on Pulsechain network. And that's the one thing. And the second thing is, I, unless I'm missing something, so I was just watching a video, just watching a video of Richard Hart, and I flipped over to this, and he's got this, not your keys, not your crypto dialogue, narrative, whatever you want to call it, that he follows. But unless I'm missing something, like I've got about 500,000 hex staked, and I don't remember getting any keys when I staked it. Right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's in your
you used
MetaMask, right?
yeah, you used MetaMask. So what you need to do is get a hardware wallet.
Well, hold on now. I've got
Two of
my
them.
well. Wait now. To just to clarify. So I have my ledger hooked up to the MetaMask that I've done
Well,
that in.
then
But
you've got your keys then. Your
yeah,
seed
but when
words.
I take it out and I stake it, then it's not in my possession anymore. It's in
Yes, it is. It
uh,
is. It is.
oh, it is.
You've got your 24-word seed phrase, correct? You got that written
Well,
down somewhere
yeah,
safe?
but then I remove it from my wallet to stake it.
Yeah, but you've been given effectively a virtual coupon for a piece of the network that would yield your piece of inflation on a daily basis. So you are interacting directly with the smart contract now, but you did not give up your keys because only you can get those tokens back off.
True,
No one
but
else
if he
has
were to get
control.
but if he were to get hacked,
Yeah,
for
then
instance, right?
that's a different story.
Right, because I don't have the keys.
No, you do have the keys. The 24-word seed phrase represent your keys. Your private
So hold on.
keys are So the 24 silly little
Let's back
words
up
that
for
you
that.
wrote down.
I'm not challenging you, but obviously I'm not understanding something. So I've staked, many things over the last few years. And my understanding of it is that the moment that crypto leaves my wallet and is under the custody, if you will, of somebody else of whoever the entity is who's paying me the interest or giving me the dividend or the yield or whatever the case may be, then it only stands to reason because somebody can't give me yield on something if I still own it.
Yeah. See, that's too
Right.
broad of an assumption. You forgot one other option, and that is that you give yourself your own yield. With HEX, you are giving yourself your own yield. You're printing your own rewards. You're interacting directly with the smart contract. It's a closed system. No one is managing it.
I understand that, but I
yeah,
think where I'm getting lost is that when I go to stake something, I watch that crypto leave my wallet, and then I see it staked at go.hex.com, whatever the hell it is, right?
Actually,
And so,
you don't
yeah,
see
go
it
ahead.
leave your wallet. What you see is you see it being destroyed. It's absolutely obliterated. It's burned. Doesn't exist anywhere.
In exchange for the T shares.
That's correct. But
Right.
the actual HEX is gone. Doesn't exist anywhere.
Okay, so then the T shares are definitely not in my wallet.
That's correct. But your wallet unlocks on the blockchain through the smart contract a piece of the network in the form of shares. And that happens until the shares are mature.
So
or
how
you
does
choose
that
to end
vary?
it.
How does that vary? Just to make sure I understand it. How does that vary from staking? Like on say Radium or all these other platforms that you can stake on. What is the fundamental difference that they're doing as opposed to what you're doing?
They're accepting your, let's say, Bitcoin or Ethereum. Ethereum is actually locked up in a contract, but it is managed by people who can lose keys. A system, a network that has admin keys. We don't have any admin keys. So that's number one difference. Number two, when you're staking, let's say, Bitcoin, right, with Celsius, which is the latest debacle. So it's the greatest one to talk about.
I'm up on it. I'm up on it. Yeah.
Okay, so Machinsky is
he's a piece of dog dirt. We get it.
He is a piece of dog dirt, but here's what he's doing: he's masquerading. He's masquerading as a bank, meaning as an unregulated bank. He's saying, "Send me your legitimate Bitcoin. I will then hold on to it for you. Your keys are now." When you say
he's
not your keys, not your crypto,
he's not burning
he's not burning it. Correct.
I
it
understand.
exists. He's saying to you, it's yours, and I'm going to lend it out to other people, and I'm going to pay you legitimate interest. We hear it in the HEX camp.
You're just giving yield via
Correct.
T share. Okay, I'm
Correct.
getting it now. I understand.
In like kind, we don't get interest. We don't get dollars interest. We don't get stablecoin
Correct.
interest. We get
Yeah,
it
we
in
get
like
HEX.
kind. Yeah, we get it in like kind. Exactly.
All
Yeah,
right.
Jeff, to go back to your original question, when they say not your keys, not your crypto, your keys is just referring to your passphrase or your seed phrase for your wallet. That those are
Correct.
under your control. So those when they say not your keys, that's what they're talking about.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, and I understand that, and that under 99% of the circumstances that'd be great. But the fact does remain, though, is that if and God forbid, if somebody were to hack that whatever that entity, that this it's not even the hex sitting in it, really there's nothing sitting in it. So maybe I just answered my own question. So if somebody were to hack,
No. If
what?
somebody hacks, somebody gets a hold of your 24-word seed phrase.
No,
They
not
get
that. If somebody hacks like go.hex.com,
Not gonna
wherever that
happen.
shit's sitting,
It's
it's
impossible
not going to happen
because
because there's nothing there.
that's right. It's
I got it.
It's a closed contract. It's immutable. It cannot be edited, changed in any way, shape, or form. No
Right,
attacker can get in because it's sealed.
right.
There's no way.
They can't get the
lock.
keys. They can't get the keys because the fucking keys are still in my wallet.
Correct. Now
I understand
they
now.
can get you keys from you though if you are irresponsible with your
Oh, I
own
get it.
keys.
No, I get it. If I get hacked, I get hacked. But there's no danger of well, I mean, pick a staking platform. A bunch of them have been hacked while they've been in care and control of other people's funds, and when they do, their money's gone.
Correct.
Whereas if this were to happen, all there is really is a I don't want to use the word fictitious T-share, but it's basically thin air until the time that you redeem it. So there's really nothing. There really is no wallet for go.hex.com. There's nothing there to steal.
No, there's a smart contract front end interface. That's all it is.
Right. I understand now. Yeah, because I was listening to this video and I'm like, what's he talking about? Because I get it now though. Now the way you just explained it, I understand now. So getting back to my first question, and obviously I'm not a tech guy, but I come up with some good ideas. I know what people need, and I was recommended to I recommended, to our developer, our smart contract developer, and our Web3 developer, that like we've got a site that's partially, first of all, I don't even know if it's compatible or not, but we've got a site that is basically.
Let's not talk about your project in here because we don't do that as a rule. But we can
Sorry.
point you to
No, I wasn't
dev
going to
chat.
say any names. I wasn't going to do it. Okay. So just a general question then is: Will Pulsechain support a project that on that project it actually has a bridge that the project itself has a bridge that brings people from Web 2 to Web 3, and how I mean it is, and this is also generic, okay, for instance, on some sites that you see, particularly Web 2 sites, if there's a third party, like a vendor, okay, if there's a vendor who is who has a vendor's page on a Web 2 platform, okay, so they're on the platform. A customer is on the platform. They see something they want on a vendor's page of a Web 2 site. Okay, it could be Shopify. It could be anything, right? You go in there. So the only difference is in a case, the vendor, if the vendor has the choice whether to utilize that Web2 site's vendor page, or the option where he can actually link somebody into his own Web3 domain, like NFT domain, right? And depending on what the vendor wants, will Pulsechain support something like that?
That's a question fit for Profex, who just dropped out a little bit. Profex, you got your ears on?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. No problem.
I can't say. It sounds to me like it would, but I'm not a developer. Does anybody
I
else have an
understand.
answer to
And
this,
neither am
gentlemen?
I. Anybody else know the answer?
Yeah. I think that maybe if you go to howtopulse.com, Jay Money and some of them guys over there can point you in the right direction.
Okay. All right. I'll check that out. I would imagine so. Like it does. It runs on the Ethereum virtual machine, right? Like the for the most part, I understand that well, from what I've heard Richard say, his admin and things like that he does outside of the Ethereum virtual machine. But by and large, as far as the public is concerned, we'll say not his inner shit, right? As far as any interaction with the public, it's running on the Ethereum virtual machine, correct?
It's a fork of it, so I'd imagine if whatever project you're talking about is works on Ethereum, then it should work on Pulse.
Yeah. Well, it's not launched, so we wouldn't know if it would work on Ethereum or not. But let me ask the question a different way. There's absolutely no handicap to putting a project on Pulse, as far as just having your content there, right? There's no handicap. Well, let me ask you a different way. Is Pulsechain considered a layer 1 or layer 2?
It's definitely one.
It's layer 1 because it's a fork. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. That pretty much answers my question. All right. Hey, thanks for your time, guys. I'm going to go over to how to pulse there, and I'm going to try to get an answer for that other question I asked. I appreciate it, and I didn't mean to. I believe me, guys. I didn't get on here with the intention to shill in another project or anything like that. I'm just sincerely want to know because
no problem.
there's no because there's no goddamn way I'm going to launch on Ethereum. Why would I? I think that Ethereum has wrecked a lot of guys that have put their project on it over their high fees. I mean, I know I avoid them. If I see a project, even if I really wanted to do business with it, I try to find another way because it's just the fees are. I mean, last couple of weeks they haven't been bad because the market's in the shitter, but as soon as the market starts doing well, they're there to fleece you, man.
Oh yeah. If you don't see over there, come back in the chat. You'll see like J Money. He does he'll probably get you to DM him or something like that. But wait for him to be on. And I know he can talk you through because he's helped out other people that were looking to build something on Pulsechain. So, but I know he's with the How to Pulse team. So I'm sure they got links over there that you can look into.
I'll go back into that. I had to go through there to get into this chat. So I'll just go back a screen and I'll check that out. Appreciate your time, guys. Have a great night, okay?
Sure thing.
You
Be
too.
well.
Okay, bye now.
Hey, Papa, check your DM.
All right.
Papa, real quick, I think I'm doing something wrong here. When I go to I downloaded Firefox and MetaMask on Firefox, then I go to MetaMask and I put connect hardware wallet.
Yes.
And then when I do that, and it says I get to where it says select an account, I don't see my address with my crypto on it. I see different addresses,
Okay.
1 through 5, and then there's the different pages and whatnot.
Right on. Okay. Okay. Now, okay, first of all, I want to know when was the last time you updated your firmware for your Trezor?
It wasn't that long ago. Even though I wasn't really messing with it, I was still like
All
trying
right.
to mess with it, and then I go and I would check. Let me just check right now. I'll go to the suite
Sure.
and
Yep.
how do I see if there's an update?
Just
The little
connect up with Trezor Suite, and up in
Mhm.
the top you should have like a yellow bar that says, need to update your firmware or something like that.
Oh no, I don't have anything
Other
like that.
if you don't, then log in
Log in
and yep. Well,
to
get
Trezor.
into Trezor Suite, yeah,
Oh yeah, I'm interested. Yeah,
and then see if that banner comes up at the top after you've logged in.
yeah, I'm logged in. There's no banner.
All right, cool. Then go back to Firefox, back to
Mm-hmm.
MetaMask in Firefox.
Close Trezor Suite.
No, you don't have to. Just leave it in the background. It's fine. You can close it if you like. But we're going to answer the question, why do you not see your public addresses? When you were connecting up your hardware wallet, you were given a prompt that had 2 fields and it said, enter your passphrase. Did you put anything in those fields?
I sure did. That's where I
You
messed up.
did.
Mhm.
Well, I would suggest that you remove that account and do the same procedure, but leave those blank unless you specifically made a hidden wallet. Then that's why you're not seeing your correct public addresses, I believe. So go ahead and go up to the upper right-hand corner of the interface, 3 black dots. Click on that and click remove account down at the bottom, please.
Okay. 3 black dots on MetaMask.
MetaMask underneath the big round dot up at the right-hand corner.
Uh-huh. Okay, it says account details, view on Etherscan, connected sites. Oh, it says account 1 right there. Hold up. Let me see. Oh, I think I
Can't
already
remove
did that.
account 1.
I think I already
So
did
you
that.
you already did
I
it. All right,
already
okay.
got rid of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So physically unplug your device, replug it in,
Mm-hmm.
and do a fresh connect hardware wallet for me, please. This time, when you get the prompt for passphrase, leave both fields blank and key ahead.
Okay.
A question, just curious, what did you put in those fields? Your password?
Password, right.
Right.
It's been a long day. I'm tired, I'm sure. And I remember on the video, like you saying, don't do that now. But like I
All right.
because I watched it several times before I even started it once. Okay,
No
connect
problem.
hardware wallet. And I
Yep.
did the same thing. Okay, so connect hardware wallet. We're waiting until the 4 choices load up. Wait, do I need to hit forget this device at the bottom?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Okay, I had just hit cancel. Okay, so now I get back at the 4 options. I hit Trezor, continue, and then export public key from Ethereum account 1. I want to hit cancel or export.
Export.
Export. And then, okay, so hitting the little floaty thing. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Confirm.
Yep, you're logging in. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And
Put in your
then,
PIN.
instead of where it says passphrase, I just hit enter. I just leave it blank. Right. Default.
Yeah, take a look at what it says right by the enter button. What does it say?
Like they need to make it darker with different colors
I
that
know.
highlight and
I
flash
know.
and stuff.
I agree.
That blink at you. All right, I see it now.
Blink.
That's the top one.
There
Now
you go.
I remember
So-
on the video you said something like, okay, so I see my original wallet address that I've had for years as the top one. But you said something in the video like the other ones, if I sent anything to any of these other ones, they'd go to the same wallet. Am I understanding that correctly? Okay,
No,
I'm not.
all of these addresses belong to the same seed. So that's what I
Same
meant in the
seed,
video.
right?
Is it? Yeah, the same seed words that you wrote down, the 24-word seed phrase. They belong to the same seed. Same. These are each different effectively different wallets underneath your hardware wallet seed phrase.
They're different
So
wallets, but it's the
they're
same
different
seed
wallets.
phrase.
Yeah, they're different addresses, right?
Right.
They're different accounts,
Right.
different stuff, but they still exist under the same seed.
Uh-huh. Right.
So if if an attacker gets the seed, they get access to all of those accounts.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, say I sent some crypto to one of the other accounts, right? And then I wanted
I don't
to,
know.
I don't know. I'm just making stuff up here. If
Yeah,
I, for some reason,
you wouldn't be
there's not
so
a reason to
clumsy.
do that.
Nope.
Okay. Gotcha.
I mean, there is a reason if you want to silo certain tokens under certain accounts, but your security still has a single point of failure, and that is your seed. So it's good. It's also good if you're using hidden wallets with a passphrase, which we just kind of inadvertently got into today, right? When you type in that passphrase, then you're given a whole new set of public addresses. And those are very, very secure, but they can also keep you out of it if you forget your passphrase or mismanage it. So you should always have that written down, just like your seed phrases, and keep them separate at all times. Now, let's get you in a good place, and that is that you were having a problem interfacing with Matcha, right? You want to do a trade.
Right. And now it says Trezor1, and it has my correct wallet address under there.
Excellent. And that's a good thing. So now you can go to matcha.xyz. You can hit connect wallet up at the top.
Matcha.xyz. And now let's connect.
Let's get started, or let's get trading, or something like that, right?
Connecting wallet. Connect MetaMask.
Okay, good. Now click the little fox icon up at the top right, and it should ask you for the approval to connect.
Oh, yeah, I already did all that. So now I'm connected to Matcha.
Good. Then you're done, basically.
All right. So then let's see if I can get this to work, though. Because I want to say I've gotten to this step before.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, not on Firefox, but you know.
Yep.
So start trading.
Click in buy HEX, $1 million. Enter.
I wish. Let's see. HEX isn't even here. It is. HEX. Oh wait, this is no. That's not what I want to do. Oh, it's going really slow for some reason. Hold on. It's just going really slow. Give me a second here. Okay. Not ETH. I want to go to HEX. Try this again. It's going really slow. I don't know what it is. HEX.
You're doing this also in Firefox, right?
In Firefox, yes. Okay, so there's my HEX. And now, boom, boom, 1, 2, 3. And then let's do we can't find this token. Okay, you know what? Let me put in a token address here. Paste. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. Enter. We can't find this token. Let me double check.
Are you trying to sell a token for HEX, or are you trying?
I'm trying to get a little maxi. That's what I'm trying to do to kind of hedge, even though there's a fat premium on it. But that's
Yeah. Okay. Well, we don't. Yeah, we don't talk about third-party products in here.
Right.
So
I just was trying to be transparent. I was just trying to get transparent. I was just trying to be fully transparent on what I'm trying to do.
I understand.
We're girlfriends here. But now we can't. But I do need to know that this hardware wallet thing is working because I haven't been able to get it to I haven't been able to do anything with it since I've gotten it. But this is as far as I've gotten. So I mean, I feel really good about it. I just now I can't even.
It'll work.
You know what? I'll be happy if I can just get something to happen. Like, what if I just got a little USDC? Like, I don't know, $10, something like $100. I don't care. Like, I just want to see it work. Let's just do a test run, or even ETH. I don't care. Let's do yeah, let's not do what I was gonna do.
You're paying fees for the test run. Might as well start swapping what you want.
$30. I mean,
yeah, that's a little pricey. I have every reason to believe that it's going to work. So just continue with your transaction. Let's see what happens.
Okay, I'm just gonna go. Okay, you put it in here then. Can't find the token, so let me go to the website and get the token. Okay, so now I got the token. Oh, I thought I did.
Now, Joel, look, we don't talk about third-party projects, but
I won't say it.
You know, there's big advantages to buying Hex yourself and staking on your hardware wallet, right? Versus what you're going to do right now.
Oh, I'm
speculating on the price going up when it's a 3x premium right now.
Right. I mean, I'm staked. Like I'm staked for 15 years. I was in the AA lobby. I have stakes. I just ended one stake, and I'm new to this whole hardware wallet thing. But I need to make sure it works because I'm the most tech savvy person, which is saying a lot, but it's not saying a lot. Like in my family, so if something happens to me, these guys won't know how to. I mean, it's just gone, man. Like,
all right. So when you gotta fix that for sure. But listen, you were in the AA lobby? Were you using that hardware wallet back in the AA days?
I was not. You're the only reason why I have the hardware wallet. Actually, I got this hardware wallet.
Yeah, you should. Right.
6
so
months
you
ago.
must have two hardware wallets, right? You got a Vault and you got a migratory wallet.
Two, but one. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I have two. I bought two, but I haven't been able to get this one to work. So the other one is still in the case. I haven't even done the second one yet because
don't start staking from this one, which is presumably the migratory wallet. Okay.
Right.
And it's got a 12. It's got a 12-word phrase. It doesn't have a 24. Is that correct?
You are correct.
Yeah. So you don't want to be staking on this wallet. You want to get your other one fired up as soon as you know how to swap. Swapping's okay. You can do that in the swap. You really shouldn't be doing even the swap from it, but I'll allow it now. Do your swap, but then get your other one fired up immediately after you get those new tokens taken care of, okay? Because you should be doing your swaps from a very secure location, and that's not your migratory wallet. Migratory wallet is a one-way street. Yep.
Right.
You should be taking
I'm trying
value
to get this
off
one
of this
off
wallet.
of the grid because
correct.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sold. I'm sold on the whole idea. That's why I bought two.
Good.
I just haven't been able to get things to work properly. So now
right.
I'm going to this.
Now it's gonna.
Okay, so I finally got the address. Let me see if I can just put this in here. Paste. I've never used Matchup before, and so that I'm just kind of okay. Now that popped up. So let's go back.
It's pretty
to where
simple.
It's gonna work for me. I understand. Now let it do its thing, and now Hex. And then try this, and then that, and then review, and then we need your permission, and then approve, and then MetaMask popped up, new gas prices, woo, scroll all the way down, and confirm, $1.34. Sounds pretty cheap to me.
Yep. Then you're gonna have to do this on. You're gonna have to approve it on your hardware wallet next. So go ahead, keep going.
Well, first it says allow MetaMask to blah blah blah. Okay, allow this once per section. Yes, and do it on my hardware wallet, like you just said. And let me get the little code here. 1, 2, 3,
Yep. Click,
4.
click on the hardware wallet.
And then hit the green button, and then follow instructions on your device. And it says confirm, send a message to that address, confirm, and then another confirm. Yep, just do it. And then a third confirm, doing that. Fourth confirm. Well, it's a party. Let's do it. Fifth confirm. Now, I have the Trezor logo on my wallet thing here.
Yep.
I have the logo popped up. Oh,
that's good.
Activating HEX. 30 seconds left. This never said this before. So
yeah, you're approving the token. You're approving the token for trade. So
right.
that is one transaction that you have to go through first, and the second transaction will be the trade itself.
Transaction confirmed. I got a little menu pop up, and you pay this. You receive that. Place order. Okay, I thought I was doing it.
Joel, it just worked, right? You just used your hardware wallet for approval.
Right. So
that's it.
Now it's asking me to do it again, though. Maybe.
Yes, because you approved the token for swap. Now you actually have to swap. That's just the nature of DeFi.
Oh, approve it for the swap, then so the approval for the swap that cost like $1 and something fee, but then this actually doing it costs like $4 for the fee. Which makes sense. It's a bigger thing happening. Okay.
Yes, it's a swap.
Okay. Okay. I mean, that's fine. I mean, the $1 is what I paid to, for security. So yeah. Okay.
Oh, when Ethereum was expensive and the network was congested, you may have to pay upwards of $30 to approve it.
Exactly, or more than that. I've paid over hundreds of dollars for transaction fees when things got
transaction,
crazy.
Yes, but I'm talking about simple approval.
Oh, approval. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so that on top of the transaction. Yeah. Well, hopefully Pulsechain comes and saves us all. Success. Now let's see a receipt. I guess I'm there. Okay. It looks good. Now let me check my wallet in MetaMask.
You have to add the token to see it, right? You may have to add the token to see it, so don't freak out if you don't see it.
Let me see. I'm getting a little backup pop-up that I'm not used to seeing in MetaMask, asking me to back up my wallet because
you didn't go you didn't go through the whole procedure of clicking on the words. Yeah, you should have done that, but don't worry about it now. It'll pop up forever until you do it.
Yeah. Okay, but it won't let me kind of get behind there to see my assets though.
Then go ahead and take the quiz. Then
go ahead and do it. Take the quiz. All right. Back up now. All right. Okay, so now I have to refresh list or import the token, maybe.
Import token.
Import a token. All right. Let's do it. It's already
still got it on your clipboard, so just copy paste it.
I paste it now. Let's see, nothing happened. I shouldn't have hit learn more. I should have hit this one. I pasted it. Let me hit enter then. How about that? Like it won't do anything. Maybe I should just put in actually.
The second tab under custom under add tokens. It's the second tab where you put in the you put in custom token.
You got it. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Import tokens, and yes, it worked. Thank you so much. Wow.
No problem.
Oh man. Okay. That is
now that you know how to use it. Yeah, well look, now that it works and you know how to use it, open up your second one and make your 24-word seed phrase right now. That's where you're going to send all the tokens, including the one that you just bought.
Yeah. I'm going to have to go back to your video and
go back to the video. We'll walk you through it.
But I'm going to do that.
Right on.
All right, man.
I mean,
thank you.
a simple setup is a lot easier than the migration that you did. It's just doing it out of the box. You just plug it in with Trezor Suite, and it'll lead you through the process. It's very simple. There's little graphics that pop up. Just clickety-click, and you've got your Vault wallet set up. Make sure that you got your public address copy-pasted somewhere safe. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you could put it on a spreadsheet or something like that, and you just send all your tokens there. Do not
I
put your seeds
remember
on a
vaguely.
spreadsheet, but
I'm just gonna go through the
public
video
address.
and go
Yep.
step by step. So I'm just
Right
gonna
on.
watch the
All
whole
right.
thing and play something in the background. Man, I appreciate you, man. You're a lifesaver. I
No
cannot
problem.
describe how thankful I am right now, bro. Thank you.
No problem. Congratulations.
All right. Talk to y'all later. Thanks.
Now that he's left Ledger, you don't have these issues with.
He didn't have an issue. He was just putting in his passphrase. He was populating the passphrase field with a word that he thought was his password, and that happens all the time. Doesn't have anything to do with Trezor.
Just give me hell, Papa.
I will fight you. Ledger boy.
Hey, they've just been the first ones I got, and I like them.
That's fine. If it works for you, it's great. First one I bought was a Ledger. Well, there's Lank. How you doing, Lank? You got your ears on?
Hey, Papa, how you doing, man?
Good, good. We just had a guy come in here. He's basically a non-technical dude, but I guess is fronting some kind of third-party project and wanted to know how he could interface with somebody to get some questions answered. We sent him over to howtopulse.com. Did he make contact with you?
No. If he did the submission form, I could check, but he didn't contact me directly, no.
Okay. Well, had you been in here just a few minutes ago, we could have said, "Well, take it away, Lank."
I'm around now. Just trying to get over this stupid little virus I got.
Virus.
So I haven't been on. What'd you say? Sorry.
I said the virus. So the way we say it in Japanese,
Yeah.
because there's no V sound in Japanese, so it's a W.
Okay.
Do you have a virus?
Yes. Yeah, I've been trying to shake it off for a week now. I've been off and online.
Sorry to hear that.
My niece that stays with us found out she's got the COVID.
Sorry to hear that. You should put her down.
Yeah, that was my thoughts exactly.
There was much rejoicing in Tokyo yesterday. We have 0 hospitalizations. But everybody over here still masks up. Man, I hope that lasts.
What, masking up?
Yeah. We got a masking culture over here, but it's very creative. Like old people pull off their masks to cough, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I'd be happy if just the middle-aged people stop, coughing and sneezing without covering their faces. And a mask seems to do the trick. So I haven't even had a common cold in the last forever.
Well, the masking lasted about a week here in Georgia. So
Yeah. And it wasn't even a real mask. It was just kind of painted on like a county fair.
but I had seen some people running around with a crocheted mask. I thought that was pretty good.
Oh, Lord.
Yo, Papa. Sorry for coming at you a little crazy last time, bro. You know it's all love. I just seen your name on here, so.
I know, man. And apology accepted. I was just looking out for you too. I don't want you to crash your car.
Oh yeah. Security at its finest. Or safety.
I would have unmuted you too, but you left.
I made a rant about you, frustrated, but ultimately, that's why I just needed to get that off my chest and be like, my bad. But ultimately, yeah, I should have just gave you a hard time about it. That's all. I was just trying to get some bars out.
Yeah, you had your blinker on for about 5 minutes.
But yeah, just want to slide through and say that too. But hope all is well with everybody. Chop it up with everybody soon.
You know, Papa, the one good thing about this whole COVID thing here in America was, cops you really used to frown upon you when you wore a mask and carried a firearm at the same time.
Only you, redneck. Crispy, you got your ears on?
What's going on, Bubba?
Hey, man, good to hear your voice. How you doing?
Fantastic. Playing with numbers?
Playing with numbers?
That's my
You're playing with
thing.
numbers?
I
Nice.
am.
You got numbers to share with us, or are they just like random numbers you're drawing?
Yeah. Yeah, first I start with a 5, and then a 5, and another 5. I'm working on that data model. Estimated share rates, payouts, that type of stuff. Yeah, it
Do
is.
you have
Every
a?
time you add something up.
Yep. So, have you established the exact date that T-shares become deflationary for somebody who started staking in day one?
I'd have to understand a little bit more about what you mean, deflationary for that person. What do you mean?
So let's say you got 100,000 hex, you staked on day one. What day would it be coming out based on the current model and your estimations on how the share price is rising in hex terms? What date would that stake come out in which there would be no ability for that person to restake all of their hex and all of their yield? Let's not talk about the big payday bonus, of course, but let's just say all their yield that's accrued that they could no longer get at 5555 the same amount of T-shares.
Well, it's almost immediate, right? So the next time we had a share rate increase, which is almost daily. It's not every day, but every other day maybe. It's almost immediate that you won't get the same number of T-shares.
No, at the maximum. Meaning, if I had a 2-year stake, 2.5-year stake came out today, and I got all my yield and I got all my principal back, and let's just put the big payday bonus aside. Let's say it is not a big payday stake for some reason in a magical world. If I were to put all of that back in and restake it to the max of 5555, I should get considerably more today. But there is a date in which I will not get that same amount again.
Got it. Yeah. Actually, I haven't gone through that exercise. I'll have to do that. I mean, I do that on my own stakes, right? So if I have a stake that comes out and it's got, say, 10 T-shares, I'm looking to throw it out far enough that I'm going to match the same amount, which is kind of what you're saying. How far do I need to go out to get the same amount of T-shares using that yield?
Right. And then there will be a day, and I predict that it's 2025, but I'm not a mathematician. I predict it's 2025 when you will do the same exercise, but you will not be able to get the same amount of T-shares, even if you go out to the max.
Yeah, that's certainly a possibility. I have to think about that a little bit. That's a good one. But when is the point of no return where it absolutely becomes deflationary?
Right.
Of course,
but it's deflationary for each scenario, though. You have to consider the experience of each user. So somebody that comes in and says, "I'll take it from today," may not see a deflationary hex stake or rather T-share rate for many years or a few years after, right? But a day one staker will see it probably in 2025 is what I'm estimating.
Yeah, that also assumes, the current state stays pretty similar in terms of payouts. And that payout is really what affects that, right? And so if we end up in some sort of weird situation where there's not a lot of payout, it'll swing one way. If we end up in a weird situation where there's a tremendous amount of payout, it'll swing in another way. I'll have to look at that model then.
That's great. So just for silly stuff, just one data point. Where do you think the payout's going to be in 2025?
I haven't gone to build a model or any type of curve for that. So right now what I've been doing is using our current payout. And then, of course, I use the same thing a lot of people do, like Stake HEX today, that type of thing, and that presumed 10.2 amount. So I'm not quite to that point where I can actually model it myself and say, yeah, I think it's going to be, 6 point whatever or 7 point, 8 point. But you probably could. I'm thinking about some of the things. I can actually show this on the screen if you want to see it. But it's a boil the frog situation, right? And now the numbers I have move around a lot, but T-shares are only going up in cost per hex. So at some point there is, a point of friction or less friction based on how expensive it'll be. I don't even talk to people about the numbers that I see 15 years from now, because it's kind of crazy, but we're getting 450% ROI right now on a Quattro Cinco is what the projection would be, assuming we're about the same kind of payout for an extended period, which we won't be. We already know that's not going to be correct. It's going to change. Just don't know which directions. But if you assume that it's 450%, you could look at the T-share rate and multiply that by 5.5 today, and in 15 years, that would be roughly around the same kind of number. Well over 100,000 hex for a T-shirt.
Yikes.
So so then the question is, how does that? We think what that'll do is create a deflationary effect, right? For sure. Not just in the numbers you're just referencing a moment ago, but just in behavior. Because I think I'd have.
That's.
Go ahead. Yeah.
That's only the first, like, gradation of the unit. So once we come to terms with B shares, then that whole concept is kind of out the window. It'll just be a thing of the past. But B shares will then take a matter of years to become deflationary as well.
Yeah. Well, that's why you hear a lot of, and you do hear a lot of old timers, OGs, whatever you want to call us, is talking about getting the T-shares now. Right now is, if I said, hey, a T-shirt is going to be $5,000 US, you might be like, yeah, that's not so bad. But if I tell you it's $60,000 US, I mean, you're going to be probably thinking twice about buying as much, right? If nothing else, just from not having enough dry powder. But it's so far in the future, some of those types of crazy numbers, it's hard for people to realize it today. I look at the chart, you go, well, it went up 4x. That's not a big deal, right? Went up 12x. But every day it's going up. Every day, I mean, they might skip a couple days, but we've got stakes that are coming out every single day that push the T-shirt rate up. As designed. And I think one of the biggest observations, or most surprising observations I had, even being around for so long, I really thought that changes to T-share rate would be based on the biggest and the baddest stakes for the most time. And what it turns out to be is quite the majority of T-share changes are done by short stakes, 6 days, 12 days, 20 days. And the reason is every time it ratchets up and somebody comes in after it ratchets up, they cannot come back and get the same number of T-shares. That's the rule, right? That's the code.
Right.
So that means the price has to go up. So you've got 2 tiers of stakes that are are pushing that up, short stakes and long stakes.
Amazing. It's
Yeah, well,
peeling the onion peel. Onion
yeah,
skin.
well,
Onion skin.
Yeah, it is. And, well, I got into doing this because I wanted to try to figure out if I could predict, the next big change, so that if I was going to stake and I was holding, that a 700 hex increase would come around, would not happen without me knowing about it, so I can get my stakes in before, right? And I think what I confirmed for myself so far is that the system's very dynamic. Things are changing every day. And yeah, pretty much what you see on something like Hex Daily Stats is reality, I'm not sure how well I'll be able to predict big changes, but I can definitely see the little changes,
There was something interesting floated about 8 hours ago. Someone mentioned that there's Gunther was looking at any of the OA wallets that were still staked. And if they came out, what would the impact be for daily payout? And I think that they said that it would drive us up to like 7.2 cents per day. Sorry, 7.2 hex per day per t-shirt. If the OA gave us a gift and simply didn't restake.
Right. I'm trying to verify these numbers because I was working on it, but I think that the OA has about 1.9 million T-shares at the moment.
Yeah, that's about what I remember them quoting. So if those T-shares came out, I think that would push us one full hex plus alpha.
Yeah, that would make sense, right? Because we're sitting at about 10 million in T-shares. And so yeah, if you took the payout from that 1.8 million, you're going to spread it against the rest. So that might be right. I could do that math, I guess, to figure that out. I've been another guy asked me a question today. We were digging into good accounted T-shares and just how much of those are out there versus the ones that have not been ended, that are just hanging out there, because once a stake gets past its expiration date and goes into the penalty phase, those T-shares eat up some of the some of the yield, and people have been pretty busy. There's groups of people that are into this, been pretty busy, good accounting stakes. And surprisingly, there's only about 30,000 T-shares that are eating inflation that are abandoned, which that number was a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be when I looked at it this time, but it's consistent with some other data. So what that means is similar to your calculation you were just doing with the OA, right? 28,000 T-shares are just a small percentage of the 10.4 million. Let's see what that is.
But once they're good accounted, then those T-shares get released, don't they?
Yeah, they do, and that's why people have been going back and good accounting those, right? Because they're paying
So
good
like
money.
John Wick. Yeah, John Wick did that, and that brought us to like 5.95 forever.
Yep. We sure did. We sure did.
God bless his heart.
So what you
People
saying
didn't understand
about
that act of generosity when it happened. Sorry, Redneck, you were going to say something?
basically when a state is into the penalty phase and somebody else good accounts it, it's basically releasing the T-shares, which go back into the daily payout.
It's kind of the other way around, right? So when you make a stake and you get quote unquote a T-share, right? That T-share now gets a proportion of the daily yield or inflation, right? When your stake ends, it stops earning on the last day. That address will no longer get the inflation, but the T-share stays in the pool. It's not smart enough to jump back out, right? So all of that inflation just disappears. Whatever T-shares don't get moved out, that just goes to oblivion because there's nobody to receive it. The OA doesn't receive it. There's no mechanism for anybody else to receive it. The only way that it comes out, that T-share comes out of the calculation pool, is it either the stake has to be ended by the owner, somebody who has the keys, or it has to be good accounted by somebody, whether it's the owner or somebody else.
Yeah, it shuts off its yield making, but still sits in there, taking up space.
Correct. So for a really gross example, if that stake was earning 1% of the inflation, 1% of the inflation goes nowhere. Nobody gets it. The stake doesn't get it because it's over, and because it's in the pool, the other people don't get it because their inflation, the other stakers, their payouts are based on that very simple math. Inflation divided by number of shares.
So you're saying it's still creating yield in there, but nobody's getting it, or it stops creating yield when the stake's up?
It
And it's good
doesn't get it.
accounted.
It doesn't. Well, once it's good accounted, then it's out of the pool.
Okay.
Yeah, think about it like you leaving your window open. And then the winter, you don't have any heat because it's going out the window. You don't get it, but nobody else gets it either, except the overall environment. But even in this bad analogy, because nobody gets it, it just disappears. And the other key thing that happens with the good accounting is that if a stake is being penalized, a lot of us assumed, and some still assume, that you get a daily payout of penalties based on expired stakes, but that's not accurate. You don't get the daily payout of expired stake penalties until either the stake is ended or it's good accounted. And so if they're never ended and never good accounted, that penalty never goes back to the stakers. And right now, people have cherry picked, the best and the largest of those. We do have about 25,000 late stakes that are in the penalty phase. And mostly, some of that's due to, well, there's probably 2 or 3 different reasons, but a lot of that has to do with the price or the perceived price to end stakes. And so people just don't come back and do it for whatever reason. Sometimes it's an error. Somebody lost their keys. They lost their wallet, whatever it might be. And there's quite a few people that claimed Bitcoin, even though we like to yell about it a lot. Quite a few of those people didn't know what they were doing exactly. They didn't really follow the process. So they came in and claimed their HEX, but they didn't stake it. So the system automatically staked it and gave them 10% of that. That's how that claim process worked. And so you have these hundreds, if not thousands, of Bitcoin stakes that were given away for free that are also bleeding. It's kind of interesting, like I said, the numbers are way down, but we've got about 400 million HEX that has been abandoned basically in stakes, right? For one reason or another. I guess out of the total circulating amount, that's not a very high percentage, but for me personally, anybody wants to send me 425 million HEX, please do. I'll take it.
Coming right up.
I wouldn't complain about that at all.
No way, no how.
There you go, Crispy. Me and you will just split it. How's that?
Sounds good. Next best thing is to be staked. Then you get it, because once we go to Pulse, I'll have to think about this a little bit more. Once in a while I'll get account stakes, but I don't know how much Pulse I'll really want to, burn doing that, but it will be much cheaper, right? So instead of paying, I don't know, on a medium day for some of these larger stakes, it might be $100, $150 in that range to end a stake that was a 350-day stake, right? When that's pennies, the system's going to change. That's all I got to say, If I can do 20 or 30 of those large stakes, and if I feel like it's the right strategy to do that and to end those or to good account those, I'm going to do it. Just like the people got to come back and probably collect their HEX. So it will definitely be a different HEX system, not the structure, but when we get to Pulse, staking behavior is going to be different and everything that goes with it.
I guess so basically, when my stake ends, I don't have any that are close, but when my stake ends, I have 2 choices. I can end the stake and take my yield and my principal and either restake it or do whatever I'm going to do with it, or I can put it in good accounting. In good accounting, it'll sit there until I basically pull it out and do whatever I do, correct?
That's correct. There might be some decisions you'll make around that, why you would do that, motivation, but yeah, that's true.
Okay, so when a stake is basically starts in that penalty phase, when it goes into good accounting, somebody puts it into good accounting, I guess, like before, if I do it before the 14 days, before the penalties, I mean, it just sits there and nothing really happens. But when these are in the penalty phase and it gets put into good accounting, there's obviously a reason so people can get the yield off of that, or it goes to the staker class. I guess that's where I'm having a confusion understanding what's going on.
Yeah, so take your example. for a moment. You get to the end date, and for whatever reason, you choose not to end it, and you forget to good account it. So you didn't do either of those two things. Once you get into, past the 14-day grace period, the system does this daily, but it's 1% per week. So you literally have 100 weeks before it'll bleed dry. While it's in that expired state, what's happening is the system's keeping track of how much your penalties are, and it's just moving the hex from the total payout column and taking away from that and putting a little bit over in the penalty column. And the longer you wait to come back and do something, the more will go into the penalty box. But at any time, if you end or a good account, you'll stop that process, and you will not. Your stake itself will not be penalized any further. Also, those penalties that are accruing that get put into that little penalty column, they do not get paid out to the stakers until somebody runs one of those two features, with those functions. And that includes even after 100 weeks. Somebody has to run those in order for that to be turned into a penalty payout. And that's just follows, two things. One, there's no automated process within the blockchain to do it. That's why it isn't there, and it wasn't designed that way to be automatic. So there's no automation. And then, we do our own work. We do our own minting. We do our own staking, right? So it follows those ethos.
So basically, if we got one of these going into the penalty phase, I don't know how many have completely bled out. But let's just say, for instance, there was 10 million hex that have bled out that are sitting there. We haven't really received the penalty thing because nobody good accounted it yet. And if I wanted to good account it to benefit the staking class to do all that, then we'd want that to bleed out as much as possible before we put it into good accounting, correct?
Correct. But I mean, there's a little bit of a process to that, right? Some people's general belief is exactly that. Don't go good account stakes unless they're fully burned, right? And why would you wait? You would wait because perhaps you don't want that wallet to receive any hex. If they're not participating and they haven't come back, then you would want them to be fully penalized, right? It's really a toss up as to whether there's more value for stakers to wait longer. I mean, it's certainly a little bit better to wait until the end, but as we were just talking about, it also takes up yield while they're sitting there, right? So the numbers aren't really huge or anything. So it's more of a kind of boiling frog thing that over time it really adds up. All right. So then why would anybody good account stakes sooner for somebody else, right? And that was the case with John Wick. So when John came through and did that, he had a pretty good idea that those were daughter OA accounts. And since daughter OA accounts have not shown, in the past any historic selling of HEX or doing anything negative with HEX, what's the problem with the OA having more HEX, right? So the assumption was, I think, I didn't talk to him exactly about his thought process when he did it, but he said, hey, listen, the OA is not going to sell that anyways. And so by good accounting it, as soon as possible, you returned all of those shares. And that gave everyone else, all the other stakers, more payout, even to this day, as Papa had mentioned. So that would be an example of why you might do it sooner. But clearly, somebody thinks it's a good idea to do a bunch of them because we've had 8,000 good accountings done. And I don't know, I didn't check exactly the numbers. You can look in the blockchain to see when somebody does it for somebody else. But a lot of the, I don't know, maybe 20%, 30% of them have been done by one wallet for somebody else's wallet.
Gotcha. Okay. I was getting a little confused there with the thing, but that explains it. Great. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I'm not really good with words, so try my best. Try to explain what I'm thinking about and what I'm seeing. But there's some pretty good resources out there too, And you've been around for a while, you know that. And to answer your question, or at least the side comment about not knowing, currently there is 150 million hex that has been bled, but there are stakes that are very tiny that make that up, and it's hard to justify spending the money. Maybe we're going through the expense because they're so tiny,
That would be on the Ethereum side, but on the Pulse side, it would be pennies, and it may be worth some of the smaller not not obviously not the $20 ones or something like that, but there might be something worth it if it was going to cost you pennies to good account it, correct?
Yep. Yeah. And that's kind of, so there's a break even point. I mean, there are some dolphins that if they were to do stakes, do a good accounting on the Ethereum side, they actually earn more for the day than they paid out in gas, right? And so if the gas is lower, so then maybe crabs and squids or turtles can all partake in that kind of thing and free the T-shares, right? But we'll have to see. We've got we've only been in operation since 2019, right? So the contract isn't that old, and people came in at different times. So we only have 433 stakes that have completely burned their hex, and that accounts for just about 500,000 hex that's been fully burned. And the highest amount is about 54,000, 50,000 hex. So again, for us individually, if somebody was going to send me 50,000 hex, I'll take it. But I probably don't want to spend $50 more than, as a novelty to end, to good account that stake, right? Because my payback on that, now you can go altruistic and be coming to do it for the community, and that's a different story. But on a personal basis, right, you're putting out more money, to do that, to clean those up, on the ETH side. But like you said, on Pulse it'd be different. So that $50 might be better spent on buying more hex.
Oh yeah, I agree there. I was just thinking if being on the Pulse chain that it would be smaller or a hell of a lot less expensive to put them into the good accounting, and then that may actually turn out the daily payout a little bit more than on the Ethereum side, and maybe that would be worth it, throwing pennies at it to get it to that daily payout go up a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely, sir. I think you're going to see that. I think you will see that happen. Then of course the other game theory comes in. That Pulse going to feel cheap at first. I mean, there was a time where we're giving away 10,000 hex, 100,000 hex, million hex, like it was water because it was part of the fun of the whole game. How long will that pulse be worth just a fraction of a penny? I don't know. You know, so you have that whole opportunity cost thing. You know, how much do I want to do? But you do see some interesting stuff happen. Like, you know, we've got some pretty savvy people. And you've probably heard, you know, the community's pretty smart. And you've probably heard of people doing different things, different game theories and everything. So I always look at these anomalies. I'm like, what's going on with this? We got a guy who in 2020 staked 18 million hex. Now he's active. He or she is active, right? They're part of the sacrifice. Doesn't appear to be OA related. Their stake ended last month. They just didn't make it back yet. So they had earned about 19 million in you know, in yield. You know, 19 million hex in yield. But now we're a little bit over, you know, maybe 1.4 million burnt, right? So why did this person not come back? Don't know. So it's exactly the case study you were mentioning. You know, how long do you let that go? It's only been burning for 4 weeks, so it's been 6 weeks since it should have ended, maybe.
Yeah, that's interesting. Be a good one to go after on the pulse side if we could ever get it launched.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a pretty good amount of T-shirts too. It's about 2,500 T-shirts, which is a pretty large amount. I mean, that's equivalent to 2 dolphins, right? And 1 stake. So some of the guys I've been working with, one of the things we were looking at most recently has been to do with the rolling bow wave. I don't know if you've seen that, Redneck. You know, every few days somebody crops up and says a lot of hex is coming out this month. A lot of stakes are ending. But the reality is we're seeing a pretty steady roll of about 3.5 billion hex that's staked short. And so even next month, you know, I would expect to see maybe about 4 billion hex end stake in July. But only 440 million of that is actually yield. Just to give you an idea what's going on. So we are definitely skewed. Last time I did the measurement, about 75% of all the stakes coming out every month are 45 days or less.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of that on the Hex Wellbot guys staking for like 9 days and 3 days or 30 days, and I actually asked Papa, so what's up with that? I mean, it gets you to thought that they're more looking to sell when the price got better, I guess.
Well, I think there's a little, there probably isn't one answer as to why it's happening. But I'll tell you what it is doing. It creates kind of like a floor for that share rate increase. So one of the thoughts I had is maybe a group of people or an entity that's doing that purposely in order to drive the share rates up. But then there's also, if you go all the way back to a person like you or I, right? If you wanted to make sure you were liquid, or you had liquid available to you, you would want to have stakes come out, right? So you can get at that liquid at different times. I mean, who wouldn't have wanted, if you were going to sell, who wouldn't have wanted to sell at 20 cents instead of 3 cents, right? You definitely would wanted to have done that, but if you're staked up, you wouldn't be able to do it. But now I feel pretty strongly about this. That it's not the right way to go about it. I don't think those 30 to 45 day stakes are the way to go because of the loss in yield over time. And Richard talks about this a lot, about building out a ladder, and we use that term a lot. But I mean, you just increase it. And again, it feels to me like a boil the frog situation where it doesn't seem like there's a big difference between 0.8% and 1%. But it's a big difference. It's 20% more yield, for going out a few months. So I'm hoping, and the people I work with, anyways, we try to talk about this a lot. We try to build out ladders that are going to be giving you at least 3-4 months, where, if you're working 4 months in advance, everything you're staking now is getting the higher rate, instead of because getting more T shares and therefore more yield, that type of thing.
Right. Yeah. That's why I was wanting Pulsechain to come out, is because I was wanting to do. I'm doing my long-term stakes on the Ethereum side, and I wanted to set up a short-term staking ladder on the Pulse side. I mean, the fees are cheaper, and I think yield is going to be just as good, maybe even better, with all the people that are going to be staking on the short-term side. Like you were saying, it's going to drive the rate up. So.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. Of course, we've been going back and forth. Now it's been over a year. We've been going back and forth about that strategy, right? So there are definitely some people that will move. Maybe, obviously we've seen people do things like emergency end stake. So it probably will be a portion of the community that will emergency end stake their HEX and bridge it over, or sell it and bridge it, though that doesn't seem to make much sense. It probably makes more sense to bridge it, but somehow they'll try to move completely over to Pulse. And then of course we got people that are holding liquid, but there is also a pretty strong group of people that probably aren't going to move anything unless they have to. But I think you'll definitely see more. I think you'll see, at least for a short period of time, some sort of volatility in staking, right? And I think that volatility on the ETH side might really produce some outsized yield. Things like, instead of the APY being around 38% average, maybe it goes up to, 46 or 50% or something crazy like that for a while, until people catch on and see that. But I think a lot of people could be sitting on their hands not doing anything, and that's my plan anyways. I'm going to wait and see, because I think I want to experience that yield on the Ethereum side. I won't be making any rash movements.
Yeah, well, I kind of agree with you there. That's why, number one, the longer stakes, just because the Ethereum gas prices are crazy, but I figured in 10, 15 years that hopefully they'll have figured out their gas situation, and it won't be as horrible. But you never know.
Yep. Yep.
I think Crypto Goose was talking about the payout, because as people leave the Ethereum side and go over to the Pulse side, that the payouts are probably going to get a lot better. And yeah, I don't want to miss out on that either. So.
I'm right there with you. I certainly have. Every time I try to trade, I end up losing my ass. So I'm pretty well trained now. I'm probably not going to be doing that.
Yeah, I was trying to stay liquid so I could build my staking ladder on the Pulse side and the Ethereum side. And the other day, I seen the prices were just so damn low. I did a 10-year stake, and it cost me, I think, $3 in gas. I was like, oh yeah, there we go. So I ended up doing another one. So.
Yeah, well, this last week, you definitely can get this kind of prices, $2-3, no problem, for staking. And staking a little bit more expensive depending on the number of days, right?
Oh yeah, well, I just figured I was like, the price of Hex being where it was and the gas fee was, I was like, man, I said, hell, let me go ahead and do it. So I can always get more Hex.
Yeah, it looks like we're over 4 cents again. Huh? It's not a bad number. I get so damn frustrated. No, I see on the trading view we're still at 3.8. What's Hex daily stats say? 3.8. I don't know. Sometimes that Hex Winbot comes through with some prices. It takes a little bit of time for things to catch up. I thought that it said 4 cents, but we're still sitting around 3.8. So I put my limit orders in pretty low, so I pretty much made sure we're not going to go there, I think. We'll see.
You and me both, but that's fine. I'm it'll hopefully, like I said, if it stays in the threes for the next couple months and Pulse hasn't launched, I'll actually be really happy because I can really start building into it. But I've been DCAing this whole time that I've been in Hex, and it's just like, man, why couldn't it went the other way? But oh well,
Yeah. You came in after big payday.
Oh yeah, I can come in after way after that. Yeah.
Yeah. I like this little bit of the story, right? So because I'm really smart, right? So I'm sitting there waiting for this big payday event, which kind of looks like the fork, by the way, right? Looking at this big payday event, and I'm listening to all this chatter, and people are talking, and right away you get people are going to get twice as much, 3 times as much. That price is going to drop. Don't do anything until after big payday. So leading up to big payday, I did a pretty good round of staking, but I really held back. I was like, I'm going to wait and just see how things turn out. Another bold move of of not doing the right thing. So yeah, we did get that drop, before big payday, and then we had that little bit of dip afterwards. But when you know it, about a month later, I was back staking again, getting one copy, not two. Price is right back up where it was before. A little bit of sage advice to myself. So I'm determined not to fall for that this time. I'm in. I'm not waiting for nothing. Getting my copy. But that's the kind of stuff that happens, right? You start thinking about it, you're like, well, if one is going to become two, then the price has to be in half, right? It's got to be cut in half. And who knows when that price will come back, right? But sure enough, man, it only took 60 days, and we're back at that price. Did a little bit of revisit, retracement, and then another 60 days up and beyond. I guess moral of my story for myself is it's a good time to get in. Of course, I've been saying that every day for 2 years.
Yeah. I know the feeling. I've been telling everybody that's a good time to get in for the last few months. And every time they could look at me now and they go, you told me it was a good time. I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I can't control the market.
It was the best time a couple months to get in for yield. That was for sure. That's the hard part, right? People have a hard time. I have a hard time getting my head around that. Why having more of something that's of less value today is a good thing. But it is a good thing over time. So I mean, that yield really does take the sting out of a downturn. Doesn't totally relieve it, but it does take the sting out.
So, Redneck, you were just PYBing. You know what that means? PYBing? PYB?
No, what?
You don't know? I mean, pumping your bags. You're just pumping your own bags.
Oh,
Telling people to get in. No, I know. Just kidding. Accidentally pumping your bags.
I was I had one of my onboards back when early May, and we Richard said, oh, we're definitely about mid-March, maybe a week later, and I'm like, I think the price was around 12 cents. And I was telling them, I said, man, you guys really need to get in. We're going to be going live here soon. And, so they went ahead and they got in. I think one of them actually, I don't know, he spent a bunch of money when it got up to 19 cents and then dipped down. And so none of these guys are really talking to me much anymore or listening to me, but it is what it is.
And poor Jakeinator too. He's doing damage control a little bit. Anyway, Yeah. I just got a question again on the early, not early unstaken. The what is it called again? You do it for somebody.
Good accounting.
Yeah, good accounting. Okay, now you say the one has 19 million. Let's say, is that yield that has been created, or is that
Yeah,
both, or
and
is that
that
just yield?
example, let me pull it up. I'll pull it up. In
Okay,
that
just.
example,
Mhm.
it was an 18 million stake, and
Okay.
the yield was looks like 19 million in yield, so it's 37 million.
Okay, so here's my question. When if we let it bleed out, it divides it by 2 years, the yield, and takes it out every day, that amount.
It's both the yield and principal is penalized.
Okay, so
So 1%
both.
per week. Yeah.
Okay, so now if we good account it, do we get? We're going to get that daily percent out of the 2 years. If so, the original staker, he won't get it that day. I mean, you can't take his. He can always come in and end it, but we good account it. So do we get a percentage if we good account early? Do we get that daily percentage divided by 2 years of 19 million?
Yeah, so it accrues, the penalties accrue daily. And so whenever anybody either ends it or good accounts it, the penalties stop. And the penalties are crystallized at that point. And half of it goes to the OA, half of it goes out as payout.
Okay, so it's added together, so there's no separate there. So it's going to be 32 million, was it? I think, yeah, 32 million hex.
Yeah, so I fully expect this person to come back at some point.
Well,
I think you
sure,
just
sure.
lost track of it. But if they didn't, let's say they didn't, and there've been some other ones that have been big, or maybe this person really wants it to go back to the community. After 100 weeks, 37 million will be the total penalty, and half of that would go to the stakers, and half of it would go to the OA when that's good accounted.
So the game theory is if we start now, we can start taking some of his before he gets it. Right? Not to be greedy or anything, but
Well, yeah, you're going to get it no matter what. So if he decides to take it by ending it, the staking system will get the penalties, right? When it happens, the longer we wait, the less hex he gets preserved or she gets preserved, right? So if right now somebody was to go good account that, we're only 1.4 million into it. He would have like 3.5 million hex just waiting in his wallet to be ended at some point. And so if that person comes back, then that becomes liquid, potentially sell pressure, or whatever their intent is.
So we're only 2 weeks into it.
Yeah, in that particular example, yep. I know people complain about the penalties sometimes about the system doing that, but man, 200, 100 weeks is a long time, man. You know,
Yeah, it is. You can wait.
100 weeks is a
Yeah,
long time.
Yeah, you can wait a couple months if you really had to, without if you couldn't afford it or something. You wouldn't bleed out that much. I don't know. Ethereum prices.
Yeah, well, people make their own decisions about what they want to do, but assuming the economics are there to end the stake, why not end it and restake it to try to stay ahead of inflation? But tax considerations come into play. It depends where you are, all that stuff. You might be in jail. Could be anything.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out the mechanics of. It's like it's divided by 2 years or 1% per day or whatever. Okay. And if we waited like 3 months, we get all that 3 month, right? Or is it already starting to go? It's not starting to leave. Is it starting to get penalized? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's being penalized, but think of it as kind of like a holding pattern, right? Until somebody actually either ends it or good accounts it.
All right. Yeah, you got to go over it through your head a couple times. I always forget.
Yeah, it took me 6 months to figure it out. I'm kind of slow. I really thought in the beginning, that it was paid out every day. That's what I thought. And it's not paid out. Someone's got to go run those functions. This clearly says it in all the documentation, but man, there's a lot to read. There's a lot of hours to watch.
So you're saying the bleeding out is not getting paid out?
That's right. Just accrues against the stake until somebody does something with it.
Oh, it's either got to. Oh, it's got to do something before it gets let back into the system. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now the real, game theory behind this. Let's say you knew who this person was in this case, right? You knew that person, and you knew they lost their keys. Let's just say that, right? They lost the keys. There's no way that person's ever going to come back, right? And so somebody could decide, hey, I'm going to go good account that. Maybe that person decides to go good account it because it's going to lock that 37 million hex away and never see the light of day again. Make hex more scarce, Return the T-shares, other people get more payout. Good for everybody. You don't have to worry about somebody coming back and dumping that.
Yep.
But then you go the other way too. You'd be like, hey, listen, this stake, this address is active. This guy's trading all day, doing all sorts of stuff. Just lost track of that particular stake, and I'm not gonna go to count it for him because he's probably gonna come back and pull the 37 million out. Maybe when he does that, he's gonna sell it all. I don't want to dump on my head, so I'm not gonna do anything to help him. So there's different ways to look at it.
Sorry, I'm interrupted here. My girl's like, "What are you doing?" I got an earplug in, right? She's like, "Who are you talking to?" Like I'm trying to listen.
Says imaginary internet friends.
Yeah, who is this? I'm like, I'm talking to this guy. It's like, okay.
Well, I definitely suffer from the gender gap. My wife will come in and she'll be like, "Who are you talking to?" And I'll say, I'm talking to Steve." "Well, where's Steve from?" "I don't know. Why are you talking to him? Why are you talking to Steve, man? I don't know H man. I don't know where he lives. I don't know if he has kids. Stop asking. Don't ask me any more questions,
I know
please."
nobody knows. Yes, it's Fight Club. Nobody asks questions.
H-Man's originally from Minnesota.
Are you back there now?
No, in a few weeks.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I was born in Minneapolis back in '64. When I should have bought a muscle car back then. We all should have bought 20 muscle cars. Yeah, Benjamin's from, you sound like Canada. I don't know.
Well, since I'm originally from Minnesota, I probably sound a little Canadian, right?
Right. So you were conceived and born in Minnesota?
Yes, sir. Born in Northeast Minneapolis.
White Bear. Whoops. Sorry, I got in front of my washing machine.
You know, from that, I'm sure you guys have talked the shit out of this, but that was interesting during Richard's last live stream where he said, yeah, I don't think Pulse would be what all-time highs are 43 cents. I don't know why I'm thinking he said 43 cents. Maybe that was it. Above 43 cents by what was it? By the end of the year? That was kind of I think that was stupid to say.
Might be pretty cool if it hit 39 cents before the end of the year, wouldn't it?
Heck yeah. Gonna be pretty awesome once we launch here, man. All the hard work everybody's done in here, everybody listening, strategizing, talking, you know, everybody's paid their dues to learn as much as they can, you know. That's really important. So just got to launch this thing.
I measure things in years, right, man? So I can't help but look at the data on the television program or something I'm watching or a movie. Go, man, that was 2010. Do this guys even know about Bitcoin? Even know about crypto? You know, never underestimate the power of what we're going through. Sounds crazy. 10,000x sounds crazy. Yeah, we can giggle about it and laugh about it and all that. It sounded pretty crazy when Richard said it about HEX. I'm a believer.
Yeah. I don't get how anybody doesn't believe what Richard says. You know, Richard has called so many things correctly. I don't know anybody else who has or came close. So why would I try to think for myself and think something different or listen to somebody else who hasn't even made their predictions haven't even came true as much as his? You always got to find the smartest guy in the room and listen to him. And he's been proven to do that. So it's just comical to me for people to come up with their own stuff against Richard's. I'm not betting on theirs. I'm not betting on what I think. I'm going to bet on what Richard thinks. And that's not being a zombie, but you always want to find the smartest person in the room. And he's proven that.
Yeah, 100% on that. Hey, shoot, man. The reason I brought up the whole crypto thing is I was alive in 2010. I almost bought in 2013, almost bought in 2015. Billionaires were made off of that stuff. It's kind of crazy, right? And so even today, right, I get all these people talking to me about, wow, man, how you doing? I really feel bad for you. The whole crypto market's down. How things going? I'm thinking to myself, well, now's the best time to buy. I mean, it always is. You know, I guess everything ends tomorrow, but you know, it didn't end 4 years ago either. You know, and didn't end 4 years before that. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but you know, let's see what happens. I am pretty bullish.
Well,
Pretty.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to be here in the future, right? I've been in the game bought Bitcoin in 2012, and I understand this whole fucking process. And it ain't easy. It's like any other career or profession. And a lot of people in crypto, I don't think fully understand that. You got to do something for a long time, and you've got to make a lot of mistakes, and you've got to have you're going to have some successes. And just because you get some money today, you get lucky, you made some, you first got in and you did well. And but you're going to pay a price for tuition no matter what. If you get the money early, or or if it's a delayed money thing. And the most important thing is to never give up and always be moving forward. And along the way, you're going to pick up tools along the way. And so it's a mindset that you're here. You got to be here no matter what. If you want your dreams to come true, and if you're putting a lot of your hopes and dreams in this game, it ain't going to be easy. There's going to be 1,000 different ways that things are going to that are going to be coming for your bag to make you sell your position. There could be medical, there could be a shiny object, internal the game or external the game. And you know, you could do everything right, but one or two bad moves can really mess you up. And all that is going to happen. Everything that I'm talking about, good and bad, is going to happen. So you have to be very prepared for that. And I'm always bringing that up. I want to, since I've been in this game a long time, that's the most important thing I can add or bring to these conversations, right? So my person that I'm speaking to out there, he's going to go through, everybody's going to go through some stuff in this crypto game, but you can push forward. The people don't even understand how lucky they are to end up in this Richard Hart space. And I'm so grateful to hear so many new people coming in who don't know anything, right? But they've been fast forward past 98% of people in crypto, and they don't even know it, right? So that's good. That's progress, right? So hopefully in the future, there'll be more, because of all the education and the millionaires and successful people in Hex, they'll be teaching a lot of the other people in the crypto world, and more people can be successful and not make stupid mistakes.